everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm Prequel Gaming here, and today we're playing some more Prequel Kingdom. So you may notice that things are a little bit different. We have less gems. We have 253 stamina energy. So I actually just recorded a video for this game, but I kind of hated it. We didn't really get anything done. I did some cookie draws, but I wasn't really in that great of a mood. Didn't have a lot of fun. I didn't really enjoy the video, so I basically decided, you know what, I don't really want to make this. I don't really want to upload this. And you know what? That was okay. So I was stuck. I had no ideas of what to do in this game. We're waiting for an update because, you know, ignoring the Lilac Cookie update, which is what I'm going to call it because she was the only addition to the entire game. We haven't actually got an update for this game in exactly 1 month. It's been exactly 1 month since the first, well, not since the first, since the Mango Cookie update released. Or the Tropical Soda Islands update, or whatever you want to call it. Since that update released, it's been an entire month. And we haven't heard anything. There isn't any trailer for a cookie. There isn't any update release. Isn't any leaks about an update. We literally know nothing right now, which is disappointing and put me in a bad mood. And I don't really have anything to talk about or do. And then I came up with a cool idea. I have no idea if this has been proven somewhere, but I actually think it's a pretty interesting thing to talk about. So we're going to be doing some dark mode today, because we have 253 stamina jellies. Why else? I don't even want to go to episode 4, I want to go to episode 5. Because we beat episode 4 last time. Because, as you probably know, because you probably read the title, I have an interesting theory today. I'm not confident it's right. I'm not confident in the slightest. But I'm confident that it will be lots of fun to talk about. And that theory is, well, first off, we need, as I always do, we need a cool loadout for this. So, we are going to see, how do we do with exclusively ranged and assassins? I don't know what my plan is with this team, but I'm going to do it anyways. You can replace you, and the final person can be, wait, I will replace Vampire. There we go, that's our team. We'll be okay. But yeah, so, now it's time. I'm finally actually going to get to it. The idea for today is Cookie Kingdom a prequel? So I know there is a prequel, quote unquote, for Cookie Kingdom where you get to see the backstory of the Dark Flower Wars and all that stuff. But a realization came to me. What if Cookie Kingdom is itself a prequel to Cookie Break? So this doesn't make a ton of sense because, well, there were quite different games. Obviously the same developers and stuff, and they're a couple years apart. But there isn't much similarity between them. They seem like completely different universes, which is fair. They're both cookies, they're both made by witches and so on, and they're similar cookies, obviously, if not the same. But in one they run away, in one they fight. And they're not fighting against the witches. The witches are barely involved in Cookie Kingdom, currently at least. So it doesn't make a ton of sense, doesn't have a ton of legs to stand on. But I had quite a few, I just thought it was interesting to talk about, so that's what we're going to be doing today. Would it make sense? How would it work? And is it possible, in the slightest, that Cookie Kingdom could actually be a prequel to Cookie Break? Yeah, so that's what I'm here to find out. Through very little investigation, mostly just mindless talking, but I feel like that'll be fun. So yeah. First things first. Quick recap in case you're unaware of the story between the two games. In Cookie Break, you start off as Gingerbread, and you were working with other cookies to try to escape the evil witches' clutches. They baked you, they trapped you, and they are eating the cookies. And in a desperate way to escape, they're terrified of the cookies. They know exactly what's happening. They're scared of them. They're suffering. They're terrified. The witches are going to kill them. It's really not good. They have to get away from the witches. So go figure. They run, and they break the oven. They break the oven, they run away, and as fast as they can, they try their very best to escape the witches, but the witches are always, the witches or witch is always on their trail. She's always coming closer to them. They have to go through more and more dangerous terrain with harder and harder enemies and obstacles in the way while she tries to catch them. In this game currently, as it's currently adding up, we cookies, we are post the Dark Flower Wars. The Dark Enchantress cookie, a once good cookie turned evil, is killing a lot of cookies, trying to destroy the world, creating an army of red velvet monsters. And we are now the next generation, trying to rebuild the once wonderful Pure Vanilla Kingdom and create our own kingdom. and try to stop Dark Enchantress Cookie and her evil forces. Okay, fine, makes sense. They're not that similar yet. Except for the big thing, that Dark Enchantress Cookie was turned evil by the witches. She saw in both games, this is the important part, in both games, because recently I did two videos where I actually saw Dark Enchantress Cookie in Cookie Run Oven Break, and as her description says, she saw the Night of the Witches, the one night a year, or every couple of years, where the witches gather together and bake cookies and then eat cookies. She was there, and they put her back in the oven. She became burnt, and she became the evil Dark Enchantress Cookie. But we don't actually know that's why she's evil. She's evil because she wants revenge. The witches are evil. They tortured cookies. Cookies were made with the evil, terrible fate, all things considered. Their fate was doomed from the start. They had no chance of having success or happy lives. They were born to be eaten, born to be food. Pretty cool fate. That's like if you bred, I don't know, like if you bred animals and ate them and murdered them. Yeah, so I guess humans sort of do that too. I just had that realization, but, cookies are more sentient, I guess. They can talk and things. I don't know. I'm not going to get into that. That realization's for not this channel and not me. I don't want to talk about that, but basically, it's horrible. Cookie lives suck. And that's why, when she realized that, she wanted revenge. She's creating this army to try to fight the evil witches. And she even tried, albeit not in a very good way and very briefly, she even tried to recruit us to help. She didn't want to kill us. She didn't want to destroy us. She wanted revenge on Pure Vanilla, yeah, because he sealed her away for decades. But she didn't try to hurt us. She even offered us to join her to help get revenge on the cookies. Or on the witches, rather. She was honest with us. She told us the truth. That she saw, like in chapter 10, the final stage, the text is that she tells us that we were made to be eaten. Cookies were made by the witches in a cruel fate, always designed to be eaten in an endless cycle. And we may not believe them yet, but what if we will? What if in the future story, as each chapter comes by, chapter 11, 12, 13, 14 onward, each time, we get closer and closer, we learn more of the truth, we end up even maybe working with her against the Dark Cookie cult or the Revenant, and we just realize that the real villains aren't Dark Enchantress Cookie and the evil cookies. The real villains are the witches. The witches are the real ones to blame, so we start to go up against them. Our kingdom, all of the cookies, they join for one final effort to try to hunt down the witches and climb the tower once and for all, their new witch base, and defeat the witches once and for all and end this cycle. Except, the cookies fail. What if that's what they're going for? What if the future of this game's story is we end up working with Dark Enchantress Cookie or in some way continuing to follow her along on her quest to defeat the witches, and in the end, at some point, she or we find them. We find the witches, we find the evil, and whether it be because they trick us or we have faith in them and then they don't deserve that faith and they try to eat us anyways, or who knows what happens, we end up in the witches' grasps. And Cookie Run Oven Break is the events directly after Cookie Run Kingdom. We make it to the witches. We maybe try to battle them, maybe don't. Maybe we were tricked by them. And in the end, we realize the truth. We realize that we were meant to be baked, and they are trying to eat all the cookies left. They realize that the cookies need to be eaten. If they are let to live for even a second, they are turned evil. They will turn against them. So the witches hunt down every last cookie that ever lived, and Cookie Run Oven Break begins. What do you think? I know it's only been like 10 minutes, and I'm getting ahead of myself a bit, but how crazy would it be if that was the story of Cookie Run Kingdom? Cookie Run Kingdom leading as the predecessor and prequel, as the prequel to Cookie Run Oven Break. The story of the cookies in their desperate rail, trying to regain their life and their history, and in the end, no matter what, always following suit, always being betrayed, and always having them lives and kingdoms and villages they built ruined by the witches. Not a tale of cookie versus cookie, as is honestly the theme of this game. Whether it be PvP or the story mode, it's always cookie versus cookie. But what if the real theme, what if the real villain is always cookie versus witch? What do you guys think? That was a wonky theory. I'm sure it was. I don't have a ton of proof. I guess hypothesis or whatever. It's a theory. I don't have a ton of evidence, obviously. There were definitely connections. The fact that all these cookies share the same wall. The fact that in this current version, because it's one more thing. They are the identical cookies. Gingerbrave exists in both games, for example. He's the main character, the first character, in both games. In game one, not game one, in this game, he's obviously leading the kingdom, but not only does he have no idea, even after he's told, he doesn't believe that the witches are evil. He doesn't believe that the witches are going to get eaten by cookies. Yet, in Cookie Run Oven Break, all the cookies, including him, are well aware of this fate. They know it's what's going to happen, and they're trapped. Not only are they aware, but they're the ones in that fate. They're the ones in that situation. They're about to get eaten. So what if... I don't know. It just seems so... It seems perfect, almost. And that would be a big reveal that I feel like would be very interesting, mostly for the people that obviously played both games, but still for new players, it would be an interesting reveal. I talked about it a while ago after we learned the full extent of the Revenant story, after the Red Velvet Cookies stuff, after the Tower of Sweet Chaos. I talked about how, hey, I think the Revenants, or the Revenant Cookies, or whatever they are called, are going to be the real evil cookies. They're going to be the evil for this game. But one step further than that, if they're defending the witches, maybe we fight them, and then finally, after we run past them, we are able to make it to the witches. I don't know. I think it would be cool if this is a prequel, but obviously, it's still just as likely that this game takes place in some alternate universe or reality, or I don't know, maybe it's even the next game in the series. Maybe it's literally a game that takes place after, as far as timeline goes. Maybe the pastry cookie, the revenants, maybe all of them covered it up. The witches no longer want to eat cookies. Maybe they used to, but now they don't anymore. Like, it's hard to know. Maybe it is, for whatever reason, a second game, or the more likely occurrence that it's just in some alternate universe or whatever, alternate timeline. But how cool would it be? How interesting, cool, and honestly, seemingly, very much so set up would it be if, in the end, the witches are the final battle, and this ends up being a prequel to Cookie Run Oven Break. If whenever they're done, whether it be chapter 20 or 30 or even chapter 11, I don't know, the final chapter is done, you fight the witches or something like that, and in the final cutscene of the game, it's the opening, or maybe a newer art style version of the opening of Cookie Run Oven Break. I feel like that would be epic. But yeah, let me know, what do you guys think of this? Do you think it's crazy that it's just me trying to randomly scramble together something that makes sense? Do you think that actually makes sense? Like, are you watching this and thinking to yourself, wait a sec, that makes total sense, that would be so cool, I really hope that's what it is? Let me know. Do you guys have any other things you want to say about it? Feel free to leave questions or comments or critiques or whatever about this theory, because, well, I'm more than happy to respond, and I did it in my last one with all the Dark Enchantress theories and stuff like that. If you guys if I'm doing something that's dumb because, I don't know the full story, maybe in Cookie Run Oven Break they explain it, or maybe in some random obscure post somewhere, it's been confirmed that this game is a prequel, and I'm just stating the obvious or whatever. I don't know. But let me know if there's something weird or obvious like that I'm missing. Definitely let me know. Make sure I am able to fix it. Say, okay, so I'm well aware of this. This is the mistake I made. But I still think it could work under this circumstance or whatever. Let me know. Or otherwise, do you have any ideas that are similar, or do you think, okay, well, I agree with 90% of this, or 50% of this, or 80% of this, but I think this is different, or these things are different? Let me know, because I really did like seeing it. When you guys have so many interesting ideas about this game, just like me, this was just I'm just one person. But if there were like 50, 100 people that are like, hey, well, this is my idea, this is how it works. This is how it works, the plot works in my mind, in my view. I really appreciate it, and honestly, it helps make a future video like this, because let's face it, there are going to be more videos like this when they release the next chapter, and then the next chapter, and then the next chapter. There will be more videos like this, so having more information, having your perspectives, helps me create more interesting and likely more plausible theories. So yeah, I'm interested to know your opinion, so definitely let me know. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Obviously a little different, a little out of the ordinary for me, not that common, but I do it every once in a while. And yeah, hopefully we're gonna get an update for this game soon, because I had this realization, but beyond this, I was pretty much completely out of ideas for this game. So if you do have suggestions for future videos for this game or other games in general, let me know, because I really do appreciate it. And well, we don't know when the next update's gonna be. It might drop in 2 hours. It might drop before this video goes up, in which case that would be a real big slap in the face to me from them. But I mean, it's hard to know sometimes. Sometimes they give warnings, advance notice. Sometimes they give you a day's notice. Sometimes they give you no notice. It just happens. So yeah, if you have any suggestions of what I should do next in this game, definitely let me know, because otherwise, we're probably not going to be having too many more videos of this game in the near future, at least until the next update. So if you guys have any ideas, great. Otherwise, that'll probably be it until whenever the update does end up coming, which hopefully is soon. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this theory. Let me know your suggestions, changes, future video ideas, all that stuff. Please consider giving the video a like if you enjoyed, and subscribing to join the Purple Elephant Squad. It makes my day, it's super nice, and I really do appreciate it. And every once in a while, I make videos like this that, even if this is all you watch, it's still nice, and you may want to know whenever it comes out. So yeah, have a wonderful day. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye!